We got a little setup here going this time. More of what I was trying to do originally. So we got TikTok over here. Now we got YouTube and Rumble over yonder. And yet again, Tweety, hello. And yet again, the freaking Facebook extension isn't working. So that's annoying. But it looks good, I will say. It looks good, and we have the online store coming really soon. I know I keep saying it's coming soon, but it is. So, Bookie, how we doing? Nice to see you guys popping in. Some of the day ones, definitely some familiar people there. So we're going vertically over here on my right, or technically my left still, and then we got Rumble and YouTube horizontal. So we got vertical and horizontal streams. And I'll obviously manage comments through the laptop so I don't have to make earthquakes the entire time, which I know you guys love earthquakes. But how we doing? How's your Saturdays? What's that other app that you're trying out? YouTube or Rumble Studio, and then casting to a couple other platforms through that. But yeah, it's going well so far, except for the Facebook connection. Still can't figure that out for the life of me. Don't know why, but it is annoying. It's like, please work. But yeah. Okie doke. So, nice necklace. Thanks, Alex. Thanks. Yeah, don't know why. Can't get it to go to Facebook. Woohoo! Okay, did you like that app? Yeah, I mean, Rumble, it's kind of nice. It's just an easy basics, like studio platform. I don't know. I need a haircut. I know that. Look at that. Jeez, dude. The lettuce is going crazy back there. And my throat. What is up with my throat today? I sound like I got a couple octaves down. I don't know. But today, I will say, today feels like Friday. Just saying. It's not though, right? It feels, I swear to God, it feels like it's Friday. I think. And I hope we get smoked by this snowstorm too. That would be awesome. And for the people in the TikTok one, let me know how the mic is here. Because sometimes I switched phones because of the autofocus issue we had last night. Turns out it's just a crappy iPhone issue. We got it sorted away though. No autofocusing. So 2 thumbs up. But man, quiet, eh? Quiet for a Saturday night. What the heck? Well, what even happened today? Oh, that's right. So my parents took my husband and I out to eat fox and hounds. What is going on there? I've never heard of that in my life. As we kind of wait for questions to come in and the space to be filled up here, dude, wow, what is up with the voice today? Jeepers. I had my electrician come on in here and try to determine what on God's green earth needs to happen with this X-ray room, because it's kind of an unknown, and it's going to set some in-person project things back a little bit. But obviously, for all the fellow people online here, that doesn't interrupt anything. And obviously, once we get the store up, that'll be awesome too. Because then when I'm doing all these lives, I can lead you guys on what to be doing, and then you can have a direct store. So, and actually, I don't know if you guys have seen Shop Pay. It's like a super easy way to have checkouts and stuff, and it remembers all your stuff. You don't have to enter things and screw around with that, which I love. I love anything that's like smooth, you know. I don't want to go through 10 different hoops just to order like my coffee that came today. I ordered the quick foods. They came out with like a cookies and cream flavor, and there was a crazy discount on them. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get 3 of these things. And you get it, or I buy them through Shop, and you could use your HSA card in there too, if it's eligible, which it is. And then boom, done. Takes like 2 seconds. It's freaking awesome. Shop Pay, which I guess is like, I guess it is Shopify. I can't really tell, but yeah. What is that? 200,000? Why are you crying? Don't cry. For a Saturday night, I guess everybody's out and about, huh? Should be getting our sleep. I don't even know what time we got. 8:15. Cool. Probably going to go till 9. And since you guys are so quiet, I'm just going to keep giving you some updates on the office here. And so electrician came, whole pickle with that thing, because there were changes last minute on some drawing things, and then he was basically here going, okay, this is a whole different route of things. Like, we may need to change this now. So got to kind of backpedal a little bit, get on the phone with a bunch of people, which is really fun, by the way. And this is just to get a permit application. Then you got to wait for the application, and then the town has to approve or disapprove of what's being done. Originally, March was kind of going to be the grand opening, or the hard opening. I don't know. Because obviously I'm seeing people right now, but not in person. So, but that's some of the fun that went on today. I don't know if I let you guys know about the 2 sinks we got to put in now too. Surprise, surprise. 2 sinks, $10,000, by the way. Freaking nuts. 2 little tiny little sinks. But there's a lot of routing that has to be done and all that freaking stuff. So, Country Girl, or no, Tweety, what time do you normally go live? Right now, there's not really a set time. I should probably make a set time. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like later afternoon, or kind of now-ish. Kind of now-ish. That's when I go live. What's your opinion on celiac blood tests? If it's a diagnostic thing, that's nice to know. Does that tell you what to do, though? No. That obviously you want to avoid wheat, gluten of any kind. That's a given, right? I mean, anybody with celiac, you should not be touching gluten. But I would say that for anybody with any kind of autoimmunity, whether it be GI related or not, because that immune response that happens in the GI is going to affect you body wide, and a lot of that immune response is within the GI. So, in regards to like, is it worth getting the blood test? I think it's worth it. At least you can know if that's what's happening. But again, it doesn't really tell you the reparative aspect and what to be doing. That's where I love Genova testing, food allergy testing, obviously basic blood work too. Let's get an idea on CRP and vitamin D and all those things. All right, we got a Hada. That's cool. I don't get I feel like TikTok filters out the good comments and it keeps in the bad. I don't know. It's so backwards. Either way. Are you a doctor or a chiropractor? I'm a doctor of chiropractic. So you put that before the name. My niece had the test. Now they want to send her to a GI. Yeah, that's common to see. Oh, very nice. Have you found out any more info about the Dutch? Tweety, what do you mean? More info about the Dutch? You mean shipping to Canada? I may have mentioned that on here. I don't remember if I did, but it can ship to Canada. There's no issues with that. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I thought there was, but there's not. There's no restriction. So, oh, payment plans. I don't think they do that. It's just a one time fee. So, um, yeah, I know it's annoying, but there's some that like Genova. Genova does work with you. They can do. They even try to find the cheapest rate, either cash, insurance based, or they do payment plan option too. So that's pretty cool. And MDL Lamps does the same thing. I was kind of shocked to see some of that because I'm like, wow, you guys are like going at lengths to make this happen for people. I love it. Because honestly, the labs are way too high in price, to be honest. If the labs were cheaper, people would be much better off. Like, if insurance actually paid for things, holy crap. But that's not why the business of insurance continues to grow, right? They make money by not spending it. So, do you happen to know how much the Dutch test costs? It is $355. $355. Sorry, I got a bunch of screens here to look at different chats. But what do you think of low dose naltrexone? Naturopath won't treat for molds, MCAS, and POS without it. That's the first time I've heard that. I I wouldn't say, well, that's kind of their call, but I'm not going to have the same approach if that's what you're asking. I have severe heart flutters. Yeah, and we talked about this too with the mold toxicity, and then you got back into the mold environment, and that like threw everything off like crazy. So I feel you there. Colloidal silver nasal spray again, just to help with things microbially. Do a little bit of binders just to help with the body, not having so much freely floating around there. That's kind of what leads to insane responses. I do like Rehmannia, I do like Albizia, I do like Nettle. Just when you're in such a heightened inflammatory state like that, you want to test those liquid herbs on your skin first. That way you know, okay, I'm not going to react or whatever. So, kaleidoscope, got the MRI. Beautiful. Where the mystery pain's coming from? Well, you can have visceral somatic pain, so there can be organs that are going under stress and refer pain to areas in the spine. I see it all the time. I see more physical symptoms from mental stress than physical symptoms themselves, like from a true musculoskeletal reason there, especially in the neck, in the shoulders, but low back too. So I would want to ask some hormonal questions, see if, because there are some nerve innervations with nerve plexuses at the sacrum and some nerve root exits at the upper lumbars. So, yeah, you could possibly be having some visceral somatic pain. They flare up just from eating. Yep, that is not fun. Stomach acid, Albizia, Netolith, same old, because we're gonna help regulate the mast cells the most are those guys. And Romani too. Romani is pretty awesome. But really it's Denetol and Albizia. And that's just like a starting point, right? It's not okay, you do this and then you're done. That's not true. Doctor sending results to a specialist. I would be curious if I guess you mean the blood results, like a blood draw you had. Slow night, eh? Jeez. Slow night. I gotta figure out why my freaking Rumble Studio can't connect to Facebook, dude. Makes my blood boil. It's very annoying. Trying to stream on all the platforms, you know. Hey, my doc said hot dogs are a superfood. No, they're not. um, it depends on where you're getting these things from, because there are great bands out there. There are great bands too, but there's great brands in terms of Force of Nature. I think makes great hot dogs from several different types of meat too. That way, it's not just like a bunch of pork slammed together, and it's just traditional. What's like a major hot dog brand? How am I blanking? It's been a while. I'm just gonna literally search hot dog, see what happens. Ugh. Is it Frank's? It's like Frank's or something, right? Nathan's. Jeez. That took a while. I was way off. A little DC and Health Awesome. Yeah, dude. Sure. My blood results are normal, immaculate, as described. Just because they're in range doesn't mean that they're normal. And if you're having symptoms, that's not normal, right? Or am I just crazy? Because you're not crazy, especially if you have symptoms. Man, this is probably the slowest live session I've ever been a part of, aside from like my first one, probably 3 years ago. I mean, I did switch the YouTube Rumble one to horizontal, so discoverability's freaking low as heck on those. So, all right, we get more. Considering the first time, okay, wait, it's just easier to read it over here. Considering the first time I got pain at 13 paralyzed me. So yes, your girl has been in the physical therapy 4 years. Did help. Nice. Heck yeah. Yeah, and you can have physical stressors impact visceral tissue too. And it goes both ways. You can have organs create muscle or low back pain, and you can have low back pain and issues there create problems within organs. So isn't that nuts? It's now usually a combination of things physically, some things chemically, and even mental stress too. Mental stress alone can change your entire life for the worse. So, but yes, I'm glad it's manageable now, though. That's pretty awesome. Let's see. I'm going to troubleshoot some things, as we wait for more questions. Are you functional medicine, doc? I mean, yeah, that's kind of the viewpoint. I think there's traditional medicine, then there's functional medicine, or like the natural world. What I don't do, I mean, I am certainly a part of the natural piece there as a chiro, but the foundation is not run labs, try to change labs with supplements. That is the same exact thinking that the traditional medical route is, just with natural things. Mental, chemical, physical stressors lead to inflammatory responses. When that continues over and over, decades even, now you start to get deficiencies and toxicities that add up, and your nervous and immune responses take place, change all the other systems, and now you can have an immune system problem lead to hormonal things, and that's usually what it is. So the nervous and immune systems are primary, so they do change all the other ones. So, yeah, that's basically what I do. And I mean, tool wise, it's food changes, lifestyle things, of course, but then medicinal herbs in the form of tinctures, medicinal mushrooms, glandulars, things like that. My body is on its way to deliver crippling pain. What? Uterine stent pain. Any advice? Oof. I mean, for just pain alone, you can do some boswellia. You can do something like passion flower, which will relax the smooth muscle of the uterine lining. And I would probably just start there. So boswellia, passion flower. Passion flower is very relaxing too. Magnesium for children with ADHD. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I don't think it's a bad thing because a lot of people are deficient in it. I think a huge reason why people are deficient in it is from EMF radiation. That's changing calcium channels in your body, and through that, you're changing how magnesium's held within cells. So, take a bunch of magnesium or start remediating EMF sources, and that's pretty much anything with electricity at that point. But you're leading to DNA damage. You're leading to calcium channel activation, keeping them wide open, and that's going to change the way magnesium's held inside your body too. So that is a good question, though. I think magnesium can be beneficial. I would just want to know the type that you're looking at and kind of the use case, and you could ask AI that. Like, it depends on what you're looking for or what you're trying to do and work towards. But yeah, EMF Solutions are a great company. They make like one-time purchase products that you can basically remediate some of these things. Like they have like an Apple Watch that looks like an Apple Watch, but it's not an Apple Watch, and it'll just kind of ground you there. There's cell phone chips. There's whole home ones. Awesome stuff. I actually got certified in that a couple weeks back. So I have pots. Similar thing here too with pots and the EMF stuff, because I mean most of these POTS cases is younger people that are just constantly on their phones. And I mean, even during this live stream, the amount of EMF that's coming from the devices here is crazy high. And it can lead to brain fog and heart palpitations, and it creates agglutination. So, like, your red blood cells stick together, like as if there's an immune response happening. So, pretty nuts, huh? But Pot's question, and I'm finally going to functional neuro next month. Fingers crossed she can help. Yeah, I think EMF remediation, magnesium, potassium citrate, great things to start with. Maybe a little bit of passion flower there too, just from the GABA. Passion flower being pretty much the only herb to hit all three GABA receptors and have crazy amounts of, or a lot, major effects on those GABA receptors. So makes you calm. And that's not just like a mood thing, that's for muscle too. So I've also seen a lot of things with COVID. But yeah. My son has ADHD. Suggestions. Food allergy test. So you could look for histamine within the diet there and specific to his immune system. I like Albizia. I like ginkgo. And that's probably where I would start. I want to give you guys a starting point because we got to start somewhere. Hello. Had spinal cord stimulator surgery. Now I have a seroma. How does it happen? I have never heard of that. I don't perform surgeries. I'm the wrong guy to ask about this, so my apologies. But I appreciate you asking. For Susie Q. All right. Parasite cleanses for children actually help with mood and sleep? ? If that's where the issue's coming from, there's a lot, especially on this app, a lot of parasite cleanse pushes, things like that. Everybody has normal amounts of parasites in their body. I know it's kind of gross to hear, but it's the same for bacteria. It's the same for fungal things that grow. Same for different viral things that your body's just constantly fighting. So when these things become overgrown, like when gram-negative strep bacteria gets overgrown in the GI, you will commonly get strep throat because it's overgrowing that system. So if there is GI irritation from an antigen like, or a microbial issue like parasitic things or bacterial or fungal, it's finding out which of those things it is instead of doing a cleanse, because you're going to have to keep doing that cleanse every year or so, and then wind up spending a lot of money and being blindfolded throughout that process. So I would want to do GI testing first so that you know how to rebuild that system. So I'm a equestrian. Was thrown on WED. I have no idea, Katie. Megan, hello. How we doing? Let me just double check on our other chats. Yeah. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're all caught up. People dead silent on YouTube. But cool. All right. Last bits here. Last bits. Gotta tell you, I hope we get freaking leveled by this storm. By the way, that's my hope. I have CVID. Very clever way of doing that. And DiGeorge syndrome, got influenza, and everything got messed up in my blood. If Claire, you received and autoimmunity. So I would want to see your most recent labs. I would love to know where vitamin D is, because that's got to be real high. Well, not above range, but 85, 90 to anybody with. Yeah, when it's okay and in range, that could be 31. So it needs to be like 85, 90 if you are autoimmune. And did they look to find the autoimmune triggers? That is the biggest piece. And looking for either microbial or other antigens that are thrown off the system. So I would want to know vaccine history. I would want to know antibiotic history, things like this, so that we can kind of pick a direction to go in. But if you have lab work that where T cells are high, yeah. Again, I would want to know that vitamin D because that regulates T cells, as well as you could do some ashwagandha, maybe a little bit of Rehmannia too, and IgA low. Okay, yeah, those are just antibodies. So it's more of a you're autoimmune with a suppressed, in some ways, immune response, and that's tough. But there's definitely a way out of this. So for Claire, send me a copy of the labs. Let's look at it. Curious, how old am I? 27, I think, right? Yeah, 27. Do you recommend a chiro or a back surgeon / orthopedic doc? It depends on what's going on. If there's a surgery needed, you should definitely get that surgery. If we are before that time, then I would probably lean towards PTs, chiros, massage therapists. But yeah, I would say it depends on the severity, because sometimes people their backs against a wall, and there's like spondylosis happening, or like risk of cord damage, and nobody wants those types of outcomes to where, you know, you could never walk again if that isn't addressed. So it depends. I keep clicking on wrong things here. Hello, I had a stroke, was put on levothyroxine. I feel this is not helping. Could you please help? I would want to see your thyroid lab so that we can know just how to support the thyroid hormonal system there normally. And then probably some advanced cardiac markers there too. So we could see some things happening there. Damage to the blood vessels, and just further than a lipid panel. Plus, sugar, need to know those. The immune markers too. Big important things. But I would wonder when is the last time you got tested? April, hello. Can a gastroenterologist first tell you have cirrhosis and then he's changed it to PBC? I have no idea, because, well, it depends on why it's happening. And honestly, the diagnosis thing, the type of the diagnosis you get doesn't change my approach at all. It doesn't even tell me what to do, unless, no, like literally. Because what I'm doing is figuring out what are the stressors that are leading toward these inflammatory issues in the first place and making your body run rampant like crazy. And that is, yes, mental stress, adrenal health. Are you making too much hormone? Are they not converting down? Do you have excess? Chemical stressors, food, water, air, everything that you could put on your skin, in your body, all that is chemical stressors. Physical stress, obviously, what you do with your body physically. Do you exercise and do all those things? And that's really the framework. And then you can structure food You can structure the lifestyle pieces, supplementation based on one, the stresses that people are going through, but then following that up with labs too and their symptoms. Now you have all the pieces to the puzzle to put together. So what I read was you get the PBC first, then that turns into cirrhosis. But they are doing the opposite. I mean, it is definitely better to be in your scenario from going to more or a more extreme to a lesser extreme. I'm in Ireland, and my doc won't help get blood done last week. So I'm going to come back for more of the same in 8 weeks. Well, I work with Nordic Labs, and I can run additional things through. They're actually based in Denmark, so we have like Access Labs, American company, and coordinating through Nordic laboratories, we could still run these things on people anywhere else in the world. So if you are being boycotted in terms of having adequate testing done, that can change. We can change that. Have I seen the volcano? No, no idea. It closed Hawaii. Whoa, that is spooky. I don't use that nasal rinse. I really only use like colloidal silver nasal spray, a few herbal throat sprays, things like that. Maybe a little neti pot if it's really bad. But when you can address them physically too through the cervical spine, you can do vibration plates. You can do some lymphatic massage techniques as well, depending on if they're in person or not. But yeah, there's a couple stressors to look at. It's not just chemical, but yeah, I'm seeing more and more people outside the U.S. being very frustrated. More and more, like as by the day, it's like, hey, I'm in New Zealand. Hey, I'm in Ireland. So, but yeah. So Wreath by Teresa, send me a message there. I'm probably going to piece it out for tonight. We got almost time for bed, so that's going to be it for me. Hopefully, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get here tomorrow because of the crazy snow that's supposed to be here. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But if it comes, I hope it's crazy. I hope it's a freaking blizzard, you know? But thanks for hanging out. As always, stay healthy, stay free. And I'm going to try to be back tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But peace.